I remember the sound first, the ambulance siren fading behind me as they wheeled me through the hospital doors. My body was broken, the world spinning, blood drying along my jaw. But the sound that stayed with me, the one that lodged itself into my spine, came later. My mother's voice, cold, clean, sharp. "We can't come. Your brother has an award ceremony tonight. Don't be selfish." Selfish. That was the word she used while I lay in a hospital bed with fractured ribs, a shattered leg, and stitches across my face. My father didn't speak. He didn't have to. Silence was always his chosen weapon. They chose him, again. The golden child, their pride, their trophy, the son who could do no wrong. And I was the son who took up space. There was a time I believed they loved me, a foolish, younger version of myself who thought effort meant something. I studied hard. I worked part-time jobs. I helped with bills. I asked for nothing. He asked for everything. He always received. At dinners, the world revolved around his grades, his achievements, his brilliance. I was the shadow that filled the chair across from him. But I never hated him, not until that night. When they told me they wouldn't come, I didn't cry, I didn't yell. I simply stared at the hospital ceiling and realized something. I had spent my entire life auditioning for a role I was never meant to play. The unwanted son, the burden, the disappointment. So I stopped trying, and I watched. 1 week later, my hospital room filled with the scent of cheap supermarket flowers. My parents entered first, smiles stretched too wide, voices too bright. My brother followed, quiet, his jaw tight. Something was wrong. I could feel it. My mother sat on the edge of my bed, placing her hand gently over mine, an imitation of affection. My father cleared his throat, and then they said it. "Your brother needs your help. Company fraud, millions misappropriated. His perfect, glittering image cracking under the weight of his own greed. They needed me to cover his bail, not because I was financially strong, but because the company I worked for, small, stable, obedient, was willing to offer a character witness letter from a hospital bed, a sympathy play. I listened to them explain, justify, plead. My brother didn't look up. He only whispered, 'Please, you're the only one who can fix this.' Ah, there it was. Not love, need. I leaned back, letting the pain in my ribs ground me. I remembered birthdays forgotten, apologies never given, the accident, the loneliness, the silence. I nodded slowly. 'Yes,' I said, 'I'll help.' Relief washed over them like a warm ocean tide. My mother even cried. But I had learned something that week in the hospital. Pain is a teacher. Silence is a strategy. And love? Love is leverage. First, I requested all documents relating to the investigation. They trusted me. Why wouldn't they? I was being good again. Second, I asked my brother to explain everything that happened from his perspective. He talked, he confided, he revealed details that were not in the official report. Third, I contacted the company's legal team. I told them I had evidence they didn't yet know existed. They asked if I was willing to testify. I said yes, not because I wanted revenge, not originally, but because justice has a way of evolving when pushed. The court day arrived. My parents sat behind me, my brother beside his lawyer. The room smelled like sweat and desperation. When the judge asked me to speak, I didn't raise my voice, I didn't blame, I didn't condemn. I told the truth. The fraud, the manipulation, the intentional deceit. I handed over the documents, his handwritten notes, his private messages, his voice recordings from the late-night confession he didn't know I was collecting. My brother broke first. Anger, then panic, then pleading. My mother whispered my name like a curse. My father stared at me with something unfamiliar, respect or fear. The sentence was passed, 5 years, no parole. After the hearing, my parents followed me outside. My mother grabbed my arm, nails digging into my skin. "How could you do this to your own family?" I looked at her hand, then at her face. "You did that," I said, "when you left me alone in a hospital bed to celebrate him." Her hand slipped away. There were no more words. I walked away without limping. My legs still hurt, but I moved like a man reborn. A man no longer waiting to be chosen. Some families teach love. Mine taught hierarchy. Value measured in usefulness. They made me invisible. But invisibility has advantages. People don't see you coming until your hands are already on the wheel of their downfall. I am not proud, but I am free. And sometimes freedom is the quietest kind of revenge.